Good morning everyone, welcome to my workshop. My name is Ant. You may or may not have just watched my tour haul video from the car boot sale, but I'm going to do a restoration, but it's a clean up video, let's say, today. It's going to take a couple of days, obviously. I've been meaning to restore this little plane for quite a while. I can't remember where I got it. There's no name brand on it, but it's a very interesting little tool. So I'll give that a clean up, take it apart, and we'll see how we get on. And this is the snail brand that I picked up this morning in a bunch of 3 for £1. Military, dated 1963. Now I'm going to stick this in the electrolyte bath and just basically clean it and wire wheel it. And let's see if it goes from that to something a little bit better. Not going to polish it. I don't need a mirror finish or anything like that. I'm just going to clean it up so it can go in the collection, give it an oil. And then we'll see how we get on with this. Okay. Now, I have done a previous video on the electrolyte bath. This is my pretty primitive setup. I've got a very old battery charger on the wall there. The modern ones aren't no good for it. Not any good for it. You've got to get sort of an old type battery charger. So a plastic tub, several connections. This spanner will be connected to that connection. The donor steel is underneath there, and as you can see, there's already been a snail brand under there. And I'm going to leave it in for about an hour, perhaps an hour and a half, and it'll come out and we'll be able to wire brush it. So let us begin on the small plane. The spanner is in the electrolyte bath. Let's start disassembling this item. As far as I can see, there's a turn screw and there's one single screw there. So I think we'll remove this part. That's actually magnetic, just here. So unscrew it, pull it up, push the blade through, whoops, like so. Basically leaves us the shell, which is in 2 parts, which can be taken apart by this screw, and that was easy. With a washer, keep everything clean, dry, safe place and together, and that takes a while. There's a dead wood lice. There's loads of wood shaving, a little bit of cobwebs, but apart from that, that's not too bad. Very rusty on the bottom. Yeah, now I'm beginning to see a lot more rust inside. So we need to strip these 2 pieces down, or these 3 pieces. This piece needs to be polished up, and that piece needs to be cleaned. So we'll get on with that right now. Now, to strip the paint off, I'm not going to use paint stripper. I'm going to use caustic soda. I usually only use Dettol when I'm doing my cars, but I'm going to use caustic soda in this case. So I've got some hot water. I've got the caustic soda. Pour in the hot water so it covers the plane. Add a little bit of caustic soda at a time, because you can get quite interesting reactions. So you put some of that in and away it goes. That will start stripping it, and it won't take long either. So we'll get back to that in just a sec. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the body from the caustic soda water, place it on the towel. You can see some of the muck that's come off that already. And I'm just going to give it a little toothbrush test to see if the paint actually and you can see the paint comes off with just a toothbrush. So my job now, let's just try this one as well, just so you can see. It's hot, that's why I'm holding it like this, because I took it out of hot water once with my bare hands. Oh my god, it was hot. So you can see with just the toothbrush test, the paint is coming off. So what I've got to do now, I've got to clean it all up, strip it down, get all the paint off, and then I'll come straight back to you after I've cleaned it up and primed it. One thing you have got to watch when you do caustic soda, especially, is you do get a massive amount of flash rust. So get the masking tape on straight away, and you prevent some of it, but not all of it coming on the inside. So you've got to be pretty quick. Now, obviously, this part here is going to be shiny polish, so no paint. But as you can see, it's going to be quite difficult to work that out. So all you do is you gently tap on that area, gently tap and rub, and eventually the masking tape becomes so thin you can actually tear it off in a very straight line, and it gives you a nice line to work with. And you end up eventually with that. So all the rest of it can be painted. So you can see the flash rusting in there. That can now be scrubbed again, primed, and hopefully the next time I see you, or you see this, it will be painted. Okay, I've taken the snail brand while that's drying out of the electrolyte bath, and let's see how this comes up with just a couple of wipes. Do you see the difference? Now I'll give it a quick wire brushing with a hand brush, and then I'll get it on the wire wheel properly and give it a good clean up. But I think that difference is amazing. Okay, it's out the electrolyte bath. I've wire wheeled it. Before we go on, please, I want to ask you, like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content, if you like tools, if you like anything. And I'd also like to say congratulations to George from You Wanna Watch for his 100th flea market video. They're a great watch. I love his tool hauls, and he's a great guy. So congratulations, George. And here is the spanner. Now, as you can see the crow's foot, the serial number, and the date, 1963. And I love snail brand spanners with a cute snail in the middle. So that's the electrolyte bath, and that's took less than an hour on one spanner. Okay, it's one spanner, but that can now go, after I've had coated it with oil, that can go in my collection. I'm just waiting for the primer to dry. It'll be a bit, but for you, it'll only be a few seconds. So as you can see, the pieces are cleaned, primed, painted. The little bits of hardware are cleaned up, given a little bit of a polish. The insert's been painted, as are the two body parts. And the blade, I found out, was actually blued, so I've re-blued it, and I did find a name, Stanley, made in England. So I'm quite pleased with that. So the only thing I've got to do now is put it back together. So I'll sort it all out, get it back together, and see what it looks like. Okay, now comes the fiddly bit. We've got to locate that hole, that screw, and that hole. So place the top on and get it lined up. Line up the screw and give it just a couple of turns to stop everything moving around completely wild. We then place the blade through like so, underneath these two parts there, hold it, slide down the retainer so as that those two lugs lock into these two indentations, and at this point we can lock up on the knurled screw. Okay, the best thing to do at this point is to completely lock everything together, because you don't want to be going through that again. And then we can line everything up, get the blade to the correct depth, and lock up on the knurled screw. Okay, finally back together. There's the end product, a shiny-ish snail brand spanner. Doesn't take much work. Military, British Army, 1963, so it's 62 years old. And a Stanley mini plane. Yes, a little bit battered. I haven't done it crazy, It's got the initials of the guy who owned it on the front. Well, it's a nice little thing, isn't it? Looking a lot better anyway. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Above all, comments. I love the comments, as you know. And listen, have a great week. See you later.